Hey guys, how's it going? Nick here. Going to be doing another review for you today on a cold steel knife. This is the Urban Pal. This is the box it comes in, obviously with all cold steel knives. Shows a picture and pretty straightforward box, no real intricate designs or anything. Getting right to it. This is a small push knife or utility neck knife. Nope, it does not come with the chain you see. When I purchased it, all it had was a little snap ring like you find in a keychain. I took that off and went out and bought some bead chain at Home Depot and just threw it on there. I'd rather carry this as a neck knife than on my keys. Simply because, one, I find that if it's on my keys, it's catching something and pop out of the sheath and I'd lose it. Not that it's an expensive knife, but still. And two, I still go to high school, finishing up my senior year, and it's very difficult to carry a knife on my keys, and then I have to go, say on the weekend or on vacation, and then when I'm off and going back to school, I have to take it off my keys, and it just makes it very difficult. So I just don't carry anything on my keys that's knife related, so I can strip down any kind of weapons or anything like that, so I can go to school without any problems. Anyway, this is how I carry it, around my neck. I left the chain a little longer than usual. I do like it. It sits kind of right below my my sternum area. And it is comfortable. So getting to the actual knife itself, it comes in, it's like their version, Cold Steel's version of Kydex rather. It's called Securex. I don't really know if you can you can kind of see that. Right on a lighter background. And it's not, you can't really, it's kind of dark. So anyway, it says Securex on the sheath. And there you go, it's a Securex. And that's like their version of Kydex. It does have great retention, as you can see here. And that's not going to go anywhere. You pull it out, and there you go, here's the business part of this knife. It's got a really nice, I guess they call it, it's like Kraton or something like that, grip to it. It's kind of rubbery, squishy, comfy. It's full tang. All the way into the handle here, it does make a T-shape, and it's all metal, and they put this over it to make it more comfortable. This knife is, I believe the blade is right around, around a 2, somewhere like that. Actually, hang on, I'll pull up the specs for you. All in all, the knife is pretty nice for what it is. It's pretty small and compact. Perfect size neck knife, in my opinion. Maybe a last-ditch effort backup blade to some people. I don't know. Alright, so the blade here is 1.5 inches. Sorry, 1.5 inches long. Pretty much all serrated. There's a little bit of a chisel ground non-serrated tip, but it's kind of useless in my opinion. Keep in mind here, this knife is like, what is it? $15 for this knife. No, yeah, around $15 for this knife. You're not gonna get super duper duper quality. I mean, this is, it's not gonna be like some Benchmade or anything, because it's accurate quality. It's much better than its little Chinese predecessors you see floating around eBay and whatnot, the cheap ones, especially with the sheath and whatnot. So it does do its job. However, here, I'll tell you why it's cheap. Obviously, the price, for one. It's tiny, so it's not really expensive, materials to make, and it's chisel ground. Usually, Cold Steel never does chisel ground blades. Chisel ground is cheaper to do, especially when it has serrations. What they could have done is they could have done, chisel ground serrations and then made this a normal grind, a V grind on the blade. Sorry, on the half non-serrated part, but they didn't. So that shows you that it is a little bit cheaper. But it's still good quality. It's still pretty sharp and does a great job at cutting tasks overall. I've cut a lot of things with this. I've actually cut, if you've ever seen the video on this knife, I've actually cut the little PVC piping like they do, not the piping, the tubing rather, for when I was opening my pool in the spring. And it did do quite a good job at that. It gives you great control over the knife. And like they show in the video, like Lynn Thompson showed, you can work with this knife and still have the use of both your hands, but still have the blade. Just grip it like that. You can do what you got to do, and then cut or whatever you have to do with this knife. Like I said, it could serve as a last-ditch effort. You could slash with it. You could stab with it. I mean, I have practiced a little bit in the stabbing area. Not really that accessible under your shirt. You need practice with everything. You can incorporate a defense weapon or something into your system. You need to practice with it, obviously. However, this particular one, pretty no nonsense. Great for utility. Places where the blade length is, you have to be under a certain amount. Like I know Rhode Island, especially for fixed blade knives, don't fold. They're really stringent on that. You have to have, it's got to be tiny. I mean, this is an inch and a half. Blade length in Rhode Island is technically 3. I couldn't get away with walking around with a 3-inch fixed blade. I mean, a 4-inch fixed blade. It has to be 3 on the dot or smaller. especially for the fixed blade. So this is a nice option for me if I want to carry a little bit stronger knife and do a little more heavy work, but still have my hands free. This is a cool option. Cheap, and I incorporated into an order I made just to add up the to get the price. So I get some free shipping. But overall, I'm happy I did because this is a pretty cool little blade to grab. And as usual, Cold Steel does a good job making it. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. As you can see, it goes back in the sheath, clicks in, and that isn't going anywhere. All right, guys, thanks a lot. I recommend this knife. Have a good day.